Good afternoon, everyone. It's, as you can see, 12:15, and we are ready to rumble because I had a workshop yesterday and it was pretty much left like, well, after a hurricane. It looked like that. Paint everywhere, cups everywhere, and I just had to clean that up this morning. That's why I'm a tad bit late. So here we are. I want to thank everyone for sponsoring. This is the updated list as of half an hour ago. And this is the website for the people in Europe where you can buy everything you need to do this acrylic pouring. This is my link to the sponsor sheet. And the way we're going, I'm going to be doing 2 or 3 giveaways end of the month. So we'll see how that works out. And right now I have prepared a canvas. And it is a long shape, rectangle sort of a shape. And what I want to do is a sort of a repeat of the one I did last week with the syringe. Because I had a lot of questions about that, and I don't know if people have been following that video, but it has a lot of views, so I'm getting a lot of mail about it. And I'd like to explain a little bit about, if you're going to try that, how you got to do it. So the thing is, you don't have a needle on the syringe. No needle, because you have to have a big enough opening. You see, the smaller the opening is, the more the paint is going to get mixed when you push that out. And wait a minute. So if this opening is too small, it will all go muddy, and you don't want that. So that's why I cut it off, and then I sanded it down a little bit to make it smooth. It's a 50 milliliter. It goes up to here, but it's gone. So it's 50 milliliters. That's the plunger. So it's pretty big. You can drop paint in there, hold it with your finger. I'll show you how I do that. Now, the thing is that if you are going to do that, you need a background color. This time I'm going for sort of the Naples yellow with a little bit of titanium in it. As you can see, a really nice beige color. And what you do is you spread it out on your canvas before you start. And this time I'm going to use the bigger palette knife. Last time I used one of those silicone things, but that really doesn't work as well as this does. See, it's like icing a cake. So if you do a lot of baking, you'll know exactly how this works. So that's going on nice and smooth. Make sure you don't skip anything. Like here's a little piece where I skipped it. And we're smoothing it off, making it nice and smooth. But what you certainly want to do is the sides, because if you're doing this kind of pour, you don't want to come back in and have to do anything to the sides. So if you do that on forehand, you'll be all ready to go. When it's ready, you can just put it away, let it dry, and you'll have no accidents. So that's that. Then I'm taking a big brush. You can see how big it is. And we're going to do the sides, like I said, nice and smooth, with a really soft touch. We're going to put some of the same color on the sides. There you go. Now while we do this, the top is going to smooth out a little bit more. And that's important because you want a nice consistent layer of color on the top, because of course we're going to come in with that syringe packed with paint, and that's what we're going to put on top of it. And I like to do it wet in wet, but you can also do this when you first paint the background and let it dry. It's no problem at all. And you can come in with the syringe full and put it over a dry background. But the thing about that is that then it'll be more obvious that it's laying on top. And for some people might really like that effect. So don't be afraid to do some testing, some experimenting. Just want to pick it up one more time to make it nice and smooth again. Here we go. That's it. Now we have everything nicely covered and it's all ready to go. Now the colors I have are mostly mixed. Only this one isn't mixed. And I will get you that color. I think this is one that you really need in your palette because it's really beautiful. It's burnt sienna, but you got to watch out. You want the transparent one. So this is a transparent one. Now the green is permanent green with a little bit of yellow, just to make it not that flashy. This is Naples yellow with titanium white. This is phthalo blue and green with titanium white. That's the same, and that's the same. So you get 3 tints of turquoise. So that's another 2 I think should be in your palette. That is the phthalo blue and green, because you can make all shades of turquoise with those 2 bottles. Adding more or less white, you will get a more intense color or a more, subtle color. So that's what you want to go for. Okay, we got it all ready. I'm going to put this aside because, I have a tendency to drop things. Yes. So we're going to start off with a little bit of this Naples yellow, but just a tiny little bit darker. Then I'm going to come in with that beautiful rusty brown because it goes so well with the turquoises. And putting in a little green in between. And then the other turquoise color. And going to switch that with a little bit of the rusty brown again, and then the last turquoise color. Now, as you can see, I'm going to be putting this on the plunger, and that's a little bit difficult because you just want to slightly put it in, then you turn it around, and there's a pressure buildup already. So you take your finger off real slowly, hoping that not much paint comes out. Okay, now I'm pushing it in from behind. There it comes, and that's it. See, that comes to the top and we're ready to go. Now this time I want to do a double pass over the top, because the last one I did was 50 centimeters long, and this one is just a little bit less long. See that? Because it fits in the frame. So I want to do a double pass. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Yeah, I've got to make a little room that I can get everywhere. Put that in the middle a bit there. Okay. Now. Oh, it's coming out. Okay. Here we go. Double pass. And 3 passes. What about that? Now, these are some pretty colors. But as you can see, you don't see much of the turquoise. So I'm hoping that when I torch this, it's going to come up. As you can see, there are some cells already popping up all by themselves. Oh, that's beautiful. That is nice. That is really nice. That is beautiful. But we're not ready yet because I want some little bit of action going on with these cells. But because I put the bands so close together, you're going to see that it's going to stay pretty much in this shape and form. But that's okay. See that? That is beautiful. I like it. Just letting it come down a bit. Okay. Now, to make it just a little bit more special, what I'm thinking of is putting some, this time, not colored dots, but I'm going to put some mica dots on top. So what I first want to do is give it a really slight, very light base of Very, very fine art glitter. Now, the art glitter I'm using, this is really, really fine. It's if you put it on, you can almost not see it. And I just want it to be in the middle bit. And you can't press on this little bottle because then it'll all splash out. But you just want it to, oopsie, like I did there. Let's put some in my glove so that I can put it over this like that. This way, what you're accomplishing, what you're seeing is that really the whole picture, the whole band in the middle, it's almost like it's all made with some sort of a metallic paint. Okay, that's pretty nice. But it is very, very subtle, really subtle. You'll only see it when the sun catches it. So I'm making sure that I'm getting rid of my air bubbles. That's it. And then when this is dry, I'm going to come in with my metallic dots, and then I'm going to, I'm not sure, maybe I might do the whole thing. I might do just a band like that in the middle. Let me shake off a little bit more mica, or glitter, or whatever you call it. Okay. So then I'm going to come in. And what you can also do, because, I sort of like these big cells in the middle, they give a variation in the pour. But if you don't like them and you're thinking, well, they distract from the picture or something like that, what you can do is just come in and, make those sort of glossy, like I did with the salmon picture. I'll get that one. As you can see here, I'm ready with my final layer of varnish. It's all ready to go. It just needs a little bit curing before I can package it and ship it out. But as you can see how smooth it is, it's almost like resin. And what I did with this, see the gold in the cells? That's what you can also do on top of this. So if there are parts that you really don't think are that interesting and you want to pull them up, then you can fill them in with a really little bit of that gold stuff, and that'll fit nicely because we got that glitter stuff going on and it all comes together and it's really pretty. So that's what we can do. Now, if you were to say, well, I don't really like the whole background at all, you can have that feeling. What I would do is just let it dry, put it away for a couple of weeks, because I know we are our own worst critics. And put it away for a while and come back to it in a week or two, three, because I have a big drying rack, as you know, and sometimes when I want to make some room, I take them down and look at them, and then I'm thinking, wow, did I make that? Just coming back after a couple of weeks, it gives you a sort of a cleared mind about the pour. Because you're on top of this, you're making this, and then at the end, it might not just be what you had in mind, so it's a little bit of a disappointment. That's how it sort of works with doing art. But then, if you come back after a couple of weeks when your mind is clear and you see it, then you're thinking, okay, I really love it. This, I really like it because it has, it's almost like a reptile. That's about what it reminds me of. It's like I've mounted a piece of, I don't know, some really weird snake or whatever you call it, but it looks like a reptile skin, and that's, I think, the thing that I like most about it. So that's what you can do with it, and that's how you can fix parts that you don't like, and in the end, you'll have something that you really do like. So I'm gonna stop right now with this one. I got a lot of paint, as you can see, because I'm planning on doing a lot of pours because you didn't get any yesterday. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna see you right back after I fix my next canvas, and I'm gonna say love you all to pieces, liebe euch alle, and see you in the next video.